Good day, good day, good day, everybody. I hope you are doing well. Happy December! It's December, y'all. It is December. How about some fireworks? Yes, we are in December. My goodness. So, welcome. Welcome to December. Welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice because we are in the practice. And we know that practice makes progress. Yes, it does. So, I am an ordained interfaith minister, a licensed religious science practitioner, a certified spiritual life coach, and I am the spiritual director, senior minister at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living in New York. And all of that is my ministry of joy, where I support people in living life in joy, connected to their yes. So if you need support connecting to your yes, if you need support with your inventory, can we just say that? If you need support with your inventory, reach out to me, send me a DM, and we can set up some time to talk. So it is wonderful to see you all. Let me just see. Oh, Wayne, hoo-ha! My space cowboy is here. It's good to see you, Wayne. Good to see you, Nan. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you, Pamela. Hey, Julian. Happy Thursday to you. Yes, Linda. Good December morning to you, too. So, welcome, everybody. So we're going to get right into it. We're still in our inventory series. And whew, it's good, y'all. It's been good for me. It's been good for me. You know, since that pando tree, I think I've been feeling some kind of like wonderfulness, more of the wonderfulness since that pando tree series. I don't know about you, but I love that pando series. I keep reflecting on it. But here we are. We went from our roots series talking about Pando Tree in Utah to self with a capital S, and now we're in inventory. So we are taking stock, right? We are taking stock. That is where we are. Because look, it's December 1st. So now we got what, 30 days until 2023? So this is the time. Now is the time to start looking deeper at your whole year, right? To take stock of what you have come upon and what you have come through, right? And we're looking at this, we're being with this inventory through the lens of what? Through the lens of our God quality, not through the lens of judgment, not through the lens of lack and limitation. We're looking at it from the lens of our quality, right? We're being gentle and kind with ourselves. Yes? All right, y'all. So, yesterday we talked about the fourth step, right? And the fourth step is a pretty common step in recovery processes. And the fourth step is the willingness to move forward by honestly examining your part, your actions, and how this has affected you and others, right? And four steps. Oh, I was just looking for something. And and AA and probably other recovery programs, they call it make a searching and fearless moral inventory. Making a searching and fearless moral inventory. And we're talking about taking a personal inventory, taking a spiritual inventory, if you will, of 2022. And as you do that, don't be surprised if you find yourself back in 1990. Because we're also doing this through our feeling, right? through our feeling tone. So that a familiar feeling will probably be there, and we kind of ride the feeling back, right? And as I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm here to support you through this. It's not I am not expecting for after sip is over at 11 o'clock for you to go sit down and do a whole inventory. You need support in this unless you've been through this process before. And that's why I'm here. So I sincerely are inviting you to reach out to me. We could set up a one-time process that we can go through so that we could start just moving some of this energy out, because we want the space in this vessel, right? For that energy that we are inviting in to have a space to flow through and not get stuck in all the little nooks and crannies of stuff that has really already served its purpose and is like, it's just rotting there. We need to clear it out, right? Do a detox, clear that stuff out. All right. So yesterday when we was talking about the fourth step, and the fourth step is really about an inventory of responsibility. You know, my fingerprints are on this. I share the story of when I was a teenager and the guilt and shame that I felt about what I did. My fingerprints were all over that. I couldn't blame the company, which I did for a while. Like, why would y'all give a 16-year-old car vouchers? What y'all think she gonna do with it, right? I was in that space for a while, but it didn't serve me. It didn't move me. It didn't move me to forgive myself. And that is a huge thing that came up yesterday, right? So I think Julian raised a question about forgiveness, and a couple of you also were questioning about forgiveness, because forgiveness comes up in our lives all the time. And as we take inventory of ourselves, some stuff is going to come up that is ripe for forgiveness. It's ripe for forgiveness. So, since this came up yesterday, I decided I wanted to focus on a little bit, just a sip, y'all, on forgiveness as it relates to taking inventory. So the first thing that I wanted to share was, I mentioned this book yesterday, Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping. This is an amazing book, one of the best about the process of forgiving. And I just want to share with you one of his definitions for radical forgiveness. He says, radical forgiveness challenges us to radically shift our perception of the world and our interpretations of what happens to us in our lives so we could stop being a victim. My one goal is to help you make that shift. And that's what this book is all about, making the shift in a radical way as you go through the process of forgiveness. And part of that process of forgiveness, when we're taking our inventory, it's a process of accepting all of it, the whole enchilada, not picking and choosing what we want to accept and what we don't want to accept. Acceptance is a key step in forgiveness. Accepting what is. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to think that, well, because it happened, that was the right thing. That person was right. It's not about that. It's acceptance of what is. Acceptance of what is, right? To make a conscious choice to drop all forms of resistance. When we're not in acceptance, we are in resistance. Nothing can move through resistance. Acceptance things can flow. Things can flow. So releasing acceptance is a part of inventory, right? And it helps us to come present to this right now moment, to come here, to come here. Acceptance invites transformation. Forgiveness is a form of transformation. Okay. I hope you're still with me. I hope you're still with me. So, when we look at transformation, I did a whole series called Trans last year. Oh, I wrote it down. It was a 9-part series, called Trans from, if you want to go back and look it up, it's from July 19th, 2021 through July 29th, 2021. A whole series called Trans, and there is a lot of information there about forgiveness. But the prefix trans means across, beyond, and through. And so forgiveness and acceptance moves us through what is ours to transform. Because guess what, y'all? We can't transform other people. Now, that might be an issue right there, that there may be some belief, some desire, some want, some magical thinking that we can transform other people. We cannot transform other people. We can transform ourselves using the power, the resources of the source to do so. So, if you're caught up in unforgiveness because you want that other person to change, because you want that other person to transform, because you want that other person to do something that you want them to do. And why can't they just do it? Why can't they just stop doing whatever it is that they're doing? And then when they do that, then I'll forgive them. It don't work like that. It's against the law. Literally, it does not work like that. Forgiveness is an inside job. Forgiveness is for you, for giving to yourself and others. But you're not out of the equation. So we're taking inventory, not out inventory, inventory. Yes? So I had to forgive myself first. And the residual of that forgiveness, that energy of forgiveness, transformed my whole perspective about me. And then my perspective about others. By acceptance, by taking full responsibility for my fingerprints. Yes? Okay. So the other thing I wanted to share about forgiveness is that it's a skill. It's a skill that we can practice. Spirit and practice. That is what SIP is. Forgiveness is a practice. So I pulled out one of my notes from that trans series that I did last year. And it's all about transformation and forgiveness and what forgiveness requires. So I'm just going to go through this list. Forgiveness requires willingness, a willingness to forgive. Forgiveness requires having a shift in perspective. a shift in perspective. Because guess what? Unforgiveness breeds resentment. Resentment will just nibble away at you like a little gnat in your ear. Resentment. Resentment, if you're feeling resentment, you can be sure that you're living in the past. Resentment has a lot of in the past energy attached to it. So when I'm feeling resentment, I know that's an opportunity for me to start to peel back that feeling, to ride it back, ride it back. Because guess what? It don't have nothing to do with what's happening right now. It don't have anything to do with this person right here. This person is just serving in my healing. So I bring myself back to the present through the process of forgiveness by acceptance. By acceptance. So forgiveness requires that we be present and willing to accept the gift of the present. And I have to tell y'all, and I think y'all know this, but we attract people to us who resonate with our issues that we need to heal. It's a soul's agreement. Spiritual partnership, I did a whole series on spiritual partnership. Spiritual partnership is a commitment. It's a commitment for each other to stay in the relationship as we grow through our issues, as we heal our issues. Because oftentimes the people who are most close to us, our dear loved ones, are trigger points for us. But that just means there's something up for healing. And it's a distraction when we want to pin it on the other person. We're missing the opportunity. So let me just pause there and just check in. I see some comments. I love it. Okay. Julian says, I get caught up on wanting acknowledgement or accountability from the other person. Oh, Julian. That is a wanting that may never be satisfied. And there's no freedom in that. Wanting the other person to acknowledge and take accountability. That may never happen. That may never happen. And so then what do? You stay in that place of wanting, not releasing, not letting it go, not forgiving, because in essence, if you're still wanting acknowledgement and accountability, I know if I'm still wanting acknowledgement and accountability for what someone did, what I perceive someone did to me, then I have not forgiven. I go into, let me acknowledge myself. Let me acknowledge myself for the willingness to forgive myself and to forgive this other person for whatever it is that happened. I take accountability for forgiveness. I take accountability for my life. I take accountability for how I'm going to show up today, regardless if that person acknowledges or takes accountability. So that beloved, that wanting, acknowledgement for others, that requires the other person to also be doing their work. And some folks are not at that place yet. So we can have compassion for them. We can accept them for where they are in their journey. Yes? Oh, I hope that helps. I hope that helps because that is so much for so many. Julian, you can't move forward like you said. Keeps you stuck. Yeah, nothing can get through. And you're in essence relinquishing your own power to this other person because you're saying, not until they do this can I move. Can I change? Can I transform my life? That's a powerless position to put ourselves in. And we see this on the macro level, right? That we want these institutions to change. And not until they change can I be the most fabulous person that I was made to be. No, it doesn't change the truth of who you are, what other people are doing. And it doesn't change the truth of who they are either. We're on this journey, y'all, this thing called life. Yes? All right, I'm going to keep going here. Bonnie's asking, how can you forgive someone who stole sentimental jewelry from you and my credit card? She rang up over $2,000. That was a former roommate. The same way that you would forgive for any other thing. It's not the thing. That's the other thing about forgiveness. It's not the thing that the person did. Is that such, I understand, Bonnie, identity theft. That is such a distraction. And I mean that with love. The size and the event of what happened really doesn't matter in the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness forgives all. It forgives all. So we're not relying upon our own understanding. We're relying upon the understanding of that which is larger and greater than us. So how can you forgive? By forgiving. That's how you can forgive. A willingness to forgive, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. A willingness to forgive. To see it from a higher perspective. To see it through the eyes of courage, Bonnie. What would courage say about this? How can courage and forgiveness work together to free me from this bondage of this situation that has passed? Yes. Yes, we cannot afford not to forgive. Thank you. Not if we want our lives to transform. Not if we want to experience a different experience. Yes, Nan, hanging on to anger and hurt won't change the other person. It only hurts ourselves. Yes. Wayne, the violet flame dissolves negativity. Yes, it does. That energy. What energy are you putting forth? Resentment, anger will only will only give you more anger and resentment. But forgiveness gives you freedom. It gives you freedom. You get to be free to be all of who you are. Yes. All right. And then the last thing I want to say about this, I'm not paying attention to the time. The last thing I want to say about this is, how do you know you have forgiven? How do you know you have forgiven? So you know you have forgiven when transformation. Forgiveness is a process of transformation. And so you know you have forgiven when transformation happens, when you desire to live your new life. Your desire to live your new life replaces your desire to live your old life. You know you have forgiven someone when you are moving into a new way of being with yourself and others. But yourself comes first. So that's a sip of forgiveness. It was a little bit more than a sip based on the time. So let me quickly get into some joy news. I'm looking at your comments. If somebody has wronged you, allow forgiveness to let you heal spiritually and mentally. Yes, amen to that, Tim. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. It's just so simple. Stop expecting, projecting, and let life be. Amen to that. And Bonnie, it was a gulp. It was a gulp, Bonnie. It was a gulp. So I don't have time to do joy news, but let me see if there's anything pressing. Nope, I could share tomorrow joy news. I'll wrap up today. I hope that was helpful. I know it's a lot to take in and to process. And I just want you to know you don't have to do it alone, that I am here, that I am here. So just reach out, just DM me, and we could set up some time to really go through the steps to free yourself so you can have that beautiful life that is just waiting to burst forth from within you. So let's forgive. Forgive ourselves. Let's forgive ourselves for not forgiving. See how that feels. See what shifts that opens up. Let's forgive ourselves for not forgiving. Let me know how that feels. All right, y'all. I will see you all tomorrow. You are all very welcome. Thank you all for being with me today, live for Morning Sit with Rev Melissa. Thank you for taking inventory of your life so that we can move forward in a dynamic and amazing way. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings, peace and justice. We are living life in joy, connected to our yes.